Jacob, or Yaakov, had just returned from a 20-year hiatus. He had fled his brother Esau's wrath, who threatened to kill him because Jacob appropriated the blessings of his father. Now Jacob is returning and is really frightened. He doesn't know what his brother's going to do to him, so he prepares for all the eventualities. Who does he bring with him? The Torah says that he had his wives with him and his 11 sons. Rashi observes that he doesn't mention the fact that he had a daughter, Dinah. Where was the daughter when he came to meet his brother Esau? And Rashi, quoting earlier sources, says he was afraid that Esau would see Dinah, she was beautiful, and he would want to marry her. So he hid Dinah in a box, and he was punished because of that. Now the question is, why would he be punished? Wouldn't any normal father try to hide his daughter if he knew that she might be forced to marry a ruffian, a hooligan, to put Esau's evil mildly? And there's an answer given by one of the disciples of the Baal Shem Tov, which is even more problematic than the original understanding of what happened here. But this is the explanation that is given by Rabbi Chaim HaKohen Rappaport. He says that Jacob was not afraid that Esau would marry her. He was afraid that if he marries her, she might change him and make him into a mensch and cause him to change and mend his ways. And that's even more surprising and problematic. Why would he be upset that his brother would be rehabilitated by his daughter? Why would anyone care? Not only that, he should be thrilled that that would happen. Perhaps what he's trying to say is something much deeper. When Yaakov and Esau, Jacob and Esau, were in their mother's womb, they were struggling. So she consults with a prophet, and God, through the prophet, tells her, you're having two nations, two progenitors of nations, and they'll always be struggling with one another. When one goes up high, the other one will go down low. Jacob was concerned that maybe if Esau goes up high, spiritually speaking, he would go down low. And since he was entrusted with a mission to be the father of a nation that will bring God's master plan to fruition, raising a nation that will commit itself to the teachings of the Torah eventually when the Torah would be given, and now that he would be down and Esau up there, he knew Esau, no matter how much he's going to climb, will never be able to take over the role of the Jewish people. That was his concern. But he was still wrong, because that's God's concern. Our concern is to do everything in our power to bring others closer to him. If it looks like it's going to undermine God's plan, let God worry about that. There's a story in the Talmud, King Hezekiah, refused to get married because he knew prophetically that he would have a child that would be evil. And he was told and scolded by the prophet Isaiah that he was wrong. That's God's business. We do what God commands us to do. God wants us to reach out to every Jew, bring him closer to Judaism, to God. And if there's any argument that this might affect us adversely, this might harm our own Judaism, that's not our concern. God wants us to do our job. We take all the precautions, of course, but we do not shirk our responsibilities. And that is the love that we have to show one another, regardless of what we think might be some ill effects. And that love will bring us to the ultimate redemption imminently.